Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Ormark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today we're going to play with some really nice bright colours. Magenta Madness, which is one of the new in colours, and it is really bright but beautiful. And we're going to team it with Gorgeous Grape, which is a beautiful purple. So the two of those together I think will work beautifully. We're going to be using some of the Magenta Madness cardstock for backing and maybe some little pieces inside. And we're going to be using some of the in colour papers, which again we're doing Magenta Madness to team it all sort of together. So that's the colour scheme. We're going to be using the rectangular postage stamp punch, which I absolutely adore. And two new stamp sets. Life is Beautiful. Absolutely love this. We're not doing the tree on here this time, but we're using this lovely little sort of bokeh spot thing, which will give you sort of spring colours in the tree. But it's going to work really beautifully for a background. And I think we're going to use the Hey There from Beautiful Autumn and some other bits and pieces. So let's have a go and see what we can do. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to punch a background or the piece that I want, and I'm using this sort of it's almost like a Hessian print on there, and I think it's really lovely. So let's make sure that we get the most out of the paper, and we're going to punch it out. Punches are absolutely beautiful because you can use them for all sorts of things. They store really easily, and it also means that you don't need die machines or anything like that. You just need a punch and you can do all sorts with it. So this is one of my favourite ones, the rectangular postage stamp one. So we've got that piece cut out. Then we're going to use on our card front, which for me measures 5 1/4 inches by 3 1/2, but whatever your standard inside of your card is going to be. The mat is 1/4 inch wider, so this mat here is 3 3/4 by 5 1/2, so that fits literally perfectly with a 1/4 inch border. So work it out how you do it, or you can follow my measurements if you're in the UK. So we're going to take this lovely stamp here, and I'm really excited about some of these stamps because although they go beautifully on the tree, they work perfectly as lovely background stamps. So let me find a block that this is going to fit onto. I think I need this one. Okay, and then we're just going to put it quite simply on there like that. Okay, now we're going to use the two different colours. So let's start with the Magenta Madness. And we'll just open up the ink pad. It's a lovely size as well because you can put it, if we line this up like that, it will work exactly in the centre, if we can get it as near to the centre as we can. And we're going to do one there, like that. We're going to leave a little bit of a gap, and we're going to do one there. Leave a little bit of a gap, and we'll have one down the bottom like that. Okay, and you can see really lovely, beautifully sort of speckledy, spotty sort of patterns on here, which, as I say, I absolutely love. So we need to keep that out because I think we're going to use it again. Let me just get my Simply chamois out because it will need Magenta Madness, and a lot of the reds and very bright colours will actually stain photopolymer, but it actually makes no difference at all to the stamp. They just have that sort of well used look, so we will have just a little bit of staining on there. Let me just dry that off. Now we're going to use the Gorgeous Grape. Oh, I think I can open it this way. That's it. And we are going to do exactly the same with the gorgeous grape, but I'm going to turn it the other way round, and I'm going to put it slap bang in the middle of those two like that, and then this one slap bang in the center like that. Now I really like the fact that, as I say, it sort of gives you that natural strip because it's not too big. So that's our rather pretty background in on there. Clean that stamp up and we can pop that one back. And then our little piece will fit beautifully just in the center like that. And I'm just going to put this one back in on here. Whoops. Now what I do need to do is, you can see that the edges of this are just sort of disappearing away a little bit. So what we need to do is we need to sponge the edges of those. So let me just get my set of sponge daubers. I got this lovely case for them a while ago and they're perfect because they fit all of my sponge daubers in. We didn't want it in purple, did we? We wanted it in Magenta Madness. Let me put the, there we go, Magenta Madness. And we are going to just sponge round the sides of the postage stamp, and then it just defines it a little bit more, so it'll stick out a little bit more on there. So I'll just take it all the way around. I say sometimes it's quite nice to do some bright and jazzy cards, and this postage stamp just works perfectly as little centerpieces without being too over the top. There you are, you see, now that just pops it up a little bit, so that's perfect on there. Now what we need to do is we're going to tone this in with some black, because black and pink, vibrant pink, go really, really well together. So we are going to take, we want a sentiment to go through on the center, and we're going to take one more punch out for this. So excuse me while I just stand up and grab it from the shelf. And this is the really lovely label punch. And so I can put that away for a minute. We are going to, let me find the sentiment we want to use. Now this is the Beautiful Autumn. I really like Hey There, because then that just sort of covers everything and you don't have to worry too much. You can put other things on there, but I really like Hey There, if I can find it. There it is, right in the middle. So that's what we're having on there. And let me just get a smaller block out from there. Pop it down like that. Pick it up. And we just need a little scrap for this. So find myself a little scrap. And as I say, I'm doing some black on it because I really like the toning up of pink and black, the dark colours with the light. So we'll just pop this in on here like that. So we've got our Hey There. Take the punch and we'll just pop that in on here. Whoops. I always have a bit of a shake on camera, so I have to just work it out so I've got the space where I want it. Down a little bit, that's perfect. And that's going to go, whoops, the right way around on the top of there like that. And then we want to put something to just sort of add some little extra onto it. So if we put this on here, we'll put it all together in a minute. You can see that it is quite plain at the moment. So what we want to do is we want to add something to it that'll make it a little bit more jazzy on there. So we want the same patterned paper, and we are going to take, I said to you all that I was probably going to use these forever and ever and ever. We're going to have the oak leaves this time, so I'm just using the outside of the oak leaf because we've got the inside coloured in. So beautiful little oak leaf, and as I've said, for embellishments it's absolutely perfect. It really is. It's I just love it anyway. So we're just going to just do some, and I think 6 will probably be about right. Four, 5, 6. So we've got 6 little oak leaves, and you can see how quickly you can do them. I just need to clean this off, so let's clean that one. Pop that there for a minute. I can clean my hay there as well. So those are both clean and ready to go back, and then we'll take our punch and literally just line that up through here. Whoops, they do fly out. You can put your finger over the top if you want to, but that's better. Nearly got them done. Keep realising that when I'm concentrating I go quiet. So you think, where's the sound gone? Where's the sound gone? Okay, so that's the little leaves on there. And so those are going to go sort of, I think just up in the corner like that. Yes, that'll look good on there. And then I probably need to just have a bit of, and this is probably going to, this is retired, but I think just maybe a little bit of black. Yes, I'm going to just put this little bit of black sort of lace ribbon, which, as I say, is retired, but I want to just pick up the black a little bit. So let's start sort of putting this together a bit. Let's take that out of the way for now. So we need to put this one up with, no, we need to put this across first. So we'll have a little bit of the black lace ribbon across on there, and literally I'm only going to put, need to make sure that it's running straight. It's from a Halloween one a couple of years ago, but if you've got any other black ribbon, that will work quite well. So we just need to have a piece about like that. Put that on there because I just want that little bit of extra on there. So I'm going to just put that, we want this to come here in on the center, so this has got to go just about centered of the card, isn't it? Yeah, okay, right. So I just need to turn it over and just put a little bit of glue in. Now I've got the, which one is it? Right, I'm now using the Seal Plus rather than the Seal, and the Seal Plus has little sort of cut off pieces, and I am finding it, says me, to It's always going to play up on camera. I am finding it a little bit easier because it has these sort of little lines, so it automatically wants to cut itself off. So let me just take this and we're just going to put it across the centre. It's only a little tiny little piece. You could put a little strip of black cardstock, might work actually, but I think this will go all right. So we'll take that across there and take that little piece on there. Okay, so we've got a little piece of ribbon through on there. Make sure that doesn't stick on there. We're going to put this piece just straight over the top with some dimensionals. So let me grab some dimensionals out of here, and I want to put let me see, it's going to go up there, so let's have 1, 2, quite big to do. I'm going to cut this one in half actually. 3. I could have used my minis, but I just happen to have the other ones out. So let's put that like that. Okay, so we'll have this in on the centre. Now what I could have done, I could have sponged the outside in black, couldn't I? But I think it'll work like this, we'll see. Okay, so we'll have this piece coming through on the centre like that, which is quite nice. We've got the hay there to go in on the top of there. So I do need to get some minis for this one. So I've got some little pieces here, which once you've finished using your minis, you can use the little pieces around the side, which work quite well, so nothing ever goes to waste. So I'll have one of those. Whoops, trying to straighten it up like that. The other one can go in like that, and then we need a little piece in the middle, so that little bit can go in the middle like that. Okay, so we're going to pop this in here. Take that off, then we can put this one in on here on the centre, so that can line up with the piece in there. So we've just got that bit of dimension on there, which will then go in on here, which I think looks quite nice. We could actually have done it on black, but I think it'll work all right. And then we'll just put these, and I'm doing them in, hold on, we're doing them in different directions. So I'll have this one facing that way, that one will then face down, this one will face that way, this one will face that way, and then I've got these two, which I could have one coming up there and one coming down there, just in on top of that ribbon, which I think will work quite well. I'm just thinking I might change. I wonder if I've got any black cut. I normally have little pieces and things tucked away in here. Yes, I have got a piece of black. So I'm just going to have a look and see about changing this up and putting this on black instead of pink. Oh, I don't know. That's quite interesting. Okay, so that's it on black, which tones everything down, and I think too much. I think it makes it a bit too, it's not in your, I want it in your face. So that would be black. That's going to be back on, yes, it definitely needs to be on the Magenta Madness. So I think that that will work perfectly. Now, I'm not going to spend time putting these down. I'd put them down with dimensionals, but I think for just a pretty, really simple card to do, where all you're using is this lovely piece from the Life is Beautiful and make it as a beautiful background, I think works really well. So I will, just before you go, I will show you the first one that I did, that just I'd put on there as an idea, which I'd done in green, and this was in Granny Apple Green, and then I did it with Granny Apple Green and Just Jade. So and this just gives you another idea of colour tones if you wanted to do it more traditional. So this was Granny Apple Green, and I used the Designer Series paper, and the colours that I did on here were Just Jade and Granny Apple Green. And then that one would go in the centre there. So this was just the idea. And I thought that I would put two of these ones on here like that. So that gives you just another idea with it, whether you want it sort of with the greens, whether you want it bright. But I think it's a really fun idea to work with. So thank you so much for watching me. As always, stay safe and well and be kind. Bye-bye.